So for the range, I typically leave my magazines loaded to save on time a little bit. If I'm shooting multiple guns, maybe not so much. But Ray noticed I left my 1911 magazines loaded for the range, and he was like, that's bad for them, right? Was you gonna elaborate?
Specifically,
you can elaborate.
The 1911 ones. There are certain magazines that have design flaws. The 1911, I feel, is one of them, and I have several magazines that are, and I'm not talking like cheapo bleepo pro mags. I'm talking like factory Colt, factory Smith and Wesson, Mekgar, and what's Larry Vickers' company again?
Remember,
but either way, they make magazines for the 1911. Those have also had issues, and you leave them loaded for long enough, and I don't know whether it's like the actual like physical dimensions of it begin to expand or the feed lips start to separate, but they don't want to feed. They just start like the top 2 rounds will come out, but then the rest of the rounds will not, and the magazine just does not work. So when it comes to 1911s,
so for 1911 specifically,
I say don't leave them loaded.
For 1911, like look, I say
like Glocks,
I say
leave them loaded. They're fine.
I say leave them loaded, but I think the metal feed lips could be I'm just saying it could be an issue that could affect the gun entirely. I think the spring should be fine. I think the rest, everything else should be fine. I think it's just the metal feed lips that if they could expand a little bit, maybe affect the gun. I don't know. Who am I to say? But Ray brought this up to me. I want you guys to let me know in the comments if this has affected you, because I'm sure many of you guys own 1911s. Maybe you guys have had 1911 magazines loaded for many years, and you can tell Ray, hey, anecdotally, I've had no issue.
Which
let me know.
We will do a part 2 of this.
Because right now I can leave these loaded for 5 years and we come back to this video and be like, Ray, they're fine. Because
or they'll not.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
I will bring in the several magazines, and this was just like impromptu because, like you said, I saw them and said something, and that's pretty much like how this video got started. So, yeah, other magazines that have issues are M1 carbine magazines, carbine. Those magazines, they're very thin, and the feed lips also tend to spread out on those. I haven't had the same binding issue though, whereas 1911 seem to have both the feed lips and the binding issue inside. And I know whether it's the spring, the metal follower on the metal body, I'm unsure. But you leave them loaded for too long, they stop working. That's the baseline.
But yeah, let us know in the comments.
Which,
that's
again,
about it.
Not all mags are made the same, and I'm not saying this about all mags. Several magazine companies that you can leave loaded, and I have left loaded, are Glock, Smith & Wesson, AR-15 magazines of pretty much all types except for aluminum, because, just transferring knowledge from one, I feel like the aluminum being thinner, being a weaker material, it's more likely to spread out, and then you're going to have feed issues.
Like for the AKAR, I typically leave those magazines loaded. For the
AK
Glock,
magazines.
For the Glock,
you cannot damage them, ever.
For the Glocks, I typically have my range magazines that I leave unloaded. I have some 33 rounders, for the nightstand. Those stay loaded.
And I feel like those are going to be perfectly fine. Just certain magazine designs. Remember, this is a 100-year-old design.
Still works.
And I say that we have created better magazines since then. And
little side note, I do want to get, because I do have a Rock Island 1911, I do want to get their double stacked 1911. And there's endless options as far as 45, 9, and 10 millimeter, which we talked about this before. I said I would, but other stuff's got in the way. This is coming soon. At the moment, I've been able to find 45 more available, so I kind of want to get a double stacked 1911. That'd be sick. Any closing thoughts now, Ray?
I feel like those magazines would lend themselves to being loaded longer, better.
But I feel like, or like a little other thing. I think that's the feed lips. I think that's the main thing. Just if you are leaving them loaded with pressure through them, it can expand over time. I don't know, but yeah, that's it. I'm still gonna leave them loaded. If I was to carry 1911 and I have the spare magazine loaded, I would keep that loaded all the time. But that could mean you can alternate magazines. And mind you, magazines are not forever, anyways.
Yes, they are technically a disposable part. Semi-disposable.
Yeah, they're not gonna be like disposable as like one-time use, but you kind of want to check the function of them anyways.
Which I just like to point out, this one is a Rock Island mag, and this one is a Kimber mag.
Mm-hmm.
The two that I have personally are a Colt and a Springfield mag, I believe.
Which also has, you know, Wilson Combat and Gearson?
Gearson?
Or Mechar, sorry. I'm getting lost here. My Mechar magazines that I have for the Gearson. I don't know why those wires got crossed in my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also have those magazines. Those are the magazines I would use if I was to carry 1911, which I don't. Not to say it's a bad option. I'm just saying it's not for me.
There are better options.
You know, I was born in this millennia. You know, it's not for me. But yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching.
Have a nice day.